What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Eric and we are Ryden Dirty. In today's episode, I got Jamie with me. What up, Jamie?
What up?
So today we're gonna be doing something we've never done before. And I needed Jamie here because he's so crazy and tedious and meticulous about everything. So I needed him to be here for this. So we have a new thing. Hold on, let me grab it real quick. We are ride wrapping the evil, okay? This is that protective film that you put on your bike, and it makes it to where you don't get a bunch of scratches on it, and it's just frame protection that's done right. I've never done it before, but it's kind of like painting and sanding, so of course Jamie's here and he's gonna be doing most of the work. I'm just gonna be cleaning the bike, and yeah, so let's get started. We're gonna clean the bike, and then after we're done cleaning the bike, we're gonna follow the directions, and we're going to put the wrap on the bike so that we don't scratch it up. Because when we go to bike parks, we're gonna crash. And when we ride bikes, we crash and we mess things up. So we're trying to keep our bike last a little bit longer. So yeah, ride wrap.
As long as we don't scratch it, putting it on.
I mean, I hope we don't. That would suck. But all right, let's get to it. Are you supposed to wash your bike first before you do this?
Well, I think that's what you're doing right now, technically.
Oh, really? But what if your bike was like dirty?
Yeah.
I mean, mine's just dusty.
You'd probably just, you know, spray it off or whatever, get it muddy. Or, I mean, get the mud off. Yeah, get it muddy.
First, let me say I had never done something like this before. I had never wrapped my bike. I had never put any protection on any of my frames. Most of the bikes I had bought already had frame protection on them. And so for me, this was definitely a new experience, and I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out. But, you know, it reminded me of putting on a cell phone protection kit, so I figured it couldn't be too bad. The ride wrap kit that I bought for this bike was the one that was called the MTV Covered. It was one that covers most of the bike. It wasn't like the whole entire bike. It's basically a nice coverage for all the spots that you would get the most wear and tear on. So I figured that would probably be the best one to get. Right here, we're just spraying down the bike with some solution that came with the kit and just wiping it all up, making it look really good. But then we realized that this solution was the wrong solution. This is not what you put on first. The first thing you do is the wipes, and we realized that after we did all that.
All right, Jamie, so what did we do wrong?
Well, I don't know how to read instructions, so we used the wrong chemical. We were supposed to wipe it off first with these wipes and then use the other one.
He's fired. All right, so let's clean it the right way now.
All right.
One of the instructions is to spray down the plastic film, and the reason for that is so things do not stick to it when you are peeling it off the big paper that it's on. The solution comes with the kit. All you have to do is pour it right into your spray bottle, and as long as you have the right amount of water, it is diluted to the right amount that you need. Next step is to spray down the bike wherever you're going to stick the first piece of your film. Get it super wet, spray the film front and back, and start placing it exactly where you need it on the frame. Give yourself a little bit of room. Ride Wrap recommends that you give yourself 3 millimeters in between each piece.
Look at this sweet dryer that we have to use. A bad pink dryer.
I mean, it works with the
go.
channel's colors.
I mean, yeah, it works.
We were having a little bit of trouble of getting the edges to stick down, and per the Ride Wrap instructions, they tell you to use a heat gun or a dryer to get the sides to stick. It was just a pain because there was a lot of transitions in the frame right there, and so using the heat was a must. Once we got the top tube done, we decided to move on to the back of the frame so we could let the top tube dry. Doing all the same steps, wetting it down pretty good, and then sticking it from the center out, and then using the squeegee to squeeze any of the water out from underneath. After we put the rear on, we started noticing that the top tube, some of it wasn't sticking that well, so we went back and kind of played with it a little bit to get it to stick a little bit better with the squeegee and trying to get all the water out of it. Once we felt like it was good enough on the top tube and it was dry and it was sticking nice, we decided to flip the bike over and do the down tube. We put the frame upside down so we could have a really good angle at it, because otherwise trying to do it from the bottom would have been next to near impossible.
In case you didn't hear, you can get these cool shirts at Venture Apparel. Link in the description below.
Discount, 20% off.
Once again, we sprayed the frame down and we were getting ready to put the next piece of film on the bottom. We noticed one thing though, is that right where it lined up with the pivot system, we had to cut it a little bit. Ride Wrap tells you to cut it as much as you need to make sure it fits the right way. They understand that sometimes it's not 100% perfect and you'll just have to cut it and make sure it fits. Right here you can see that we're using the squeegee, and we're just like trying to just slowly work the water out of it so it'll stick the best that it can. And honestly, the squeegee is your best friend. It's the only way you can get all the water out without damaging the film itself. You try to use your fingers too much and you'll end up using your nail and you'll scratch it and it won't work right. So squeegee, 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 just to work it in. And honestly, you gotta have a lot of patience for this because it does take time. I don't know, I guess if you did a bunch of bikes it wouldn't be that hard and you're used to it, but for me only doing it once and Justin helping me do this the whole time, I mean he did most of the work, but at the same time you got to realize that you just got to take your time to do it right. It's just a lot of patience, but if you can do it right and you can take your time, the results you get are amazing. Like I'm super stoked on how it looks and how I'm gonna have some pretty good protection on my frame. I'm just super impatient and I don't like waiting for things, but this is one of those things where you don't have a choice. You have to wait, you have to do it right, or it will not work the right way. The one thing that I didn't like about it was the fact that when you put it over any of your logos on the Evil frame, because the stickers are not painted into the frame, they have little air pockets and they don't stick right, and it's kind of annoying because you can't really get them out. One of the last little parts we were trying to do was this back part here on the swing arm, and it's a really tiny spot, and we were trying to cut the film with a razor to make it fit right. I ended up getting frustrated and just said forget it, I'm not going to put a piece there, because it was so hard to get it to stick because of the way the frame was like transitioned right there. It has that edge on there and it was just not sticking, so I just said forget it. But that upper piece on there was working perfect. Justin did such an amazing job at getting that thing to stick. He had all the patience for it to work and just kept working in that edge until it was perfect. And it came with some stickers, so you know me, I got to put those sweet Ride Wrap stickers right on my frame right there to represent. All right, well here's my final conclusion on Ride Wrap protection for your frame. It's a great product. It does its job. It keeps your frame safe and it makes your bike last way longer. If you have a carbon fiber frame, I highly recommend it. It does a good job. I've noticed on the back of my frame where I rub my heel a lot against the frame when I'm like jumping and riding, and I can tell that if I didn't have it there on this brand new bike, I would have rubbed my frame all raw already in the last couple weeks. So having it there has made me really happy. It's a peace of mind to know that my bike's gonna be protected. And you're not really rubbing through it all that much. I mean, it's a pretty good product. The installation sucks. I hate the installation. It took me forever to do it, and I even had someone else helping me do it most of the time. You saw Justin in there doing it, and I was just getting mad because it wouldn't stick immediately. It takes time and patience, like I said before, and I'm just not like super patient, to be perfectly honest. Would I use it again? Yeah. Would I try another product that would, do the same thing with less of a hassle? Absolutely. I'd probably go to that product first because I just don't want to deal with the installation process. As far as the way it looks and what its job that it does, it's great. So, I mean, I can't complain there. But, I just don't want to install it. Maybe I'll pay someone else to do it. I don't know. I just don't want to do it myself. That's pretty much it for today. So if you like what we do, hit that like button. You want to see what we're up to next, hit that subscribe button. And always remember, start small and go huge. Thanks for watching.